The question is, was Agatha All Along episode 1 actually good? And I'm gonna throw this out there, no, it was trash. But, it's a big but, episode 2 was better.
The first episode was so see-through. I'm sure when they conceptualized it, they said this is going to be really interesting. Wanda had been in her sitcoms. We can do something similar here. People are going to expect it, but not the same way. Because Agatha is going to be stuck in a crime thriller detective show. And she's not going to know why she's there.
It really left a sour taste because of the way it was put forward in the marketing. You were waiting for that twist, even though you shouldn't have been waiting for that twist. And that was solely through the marketing and not necessarily to do with the episode, but it jaded the episode and it was so flat and bland for some reason. And I don't think it would have been if the marketing hadn't been what it had been.
Exactly.
Because the second episode really ramped it up. There was a lot more going on, even though there was almost nothing going on at the same time. Do a lot, do a little, bring a lot, bring a little. They were doing all of that and nothing.
We have had an introduction, a further introduction into witchy lore, witchy rules. I'm gonna have to point this one out. Agatha says in every 3-mile radius, there will be enough witches with enough witchy power to be called a coven. And she says it like kind of blasé, and I'm sure they thought, we'll just put this out there. Every 3 miles means that the whole world is covered in witches.
There's tons of witches.
So many.
There's
millions.
loads.
It makes you question, well, why haven't we seen any other witches apart from Scarlet Witch?
I don't know the answers to these questions. Maybe they'll be answered in this show. One of the better parts of the show was Aubrey Plaza. A lot of charisma, a lot of charm, a lot of the wacky shit that she does. Every time she was on screen, I thought, can I just have a little more of you?
Yeah,
and a bit less of everyone else, because almost everyone else wasn't really giving me the performances I wanted, especially Agatha, especially her teen pet boy. I wasn't liking either of them in the performance side of things. But Aubrey Plaza and even some of the other witches were doing okay. I'm sorry, I don't know why, because Agatha was pretty good in WandaVision. You had an idea about who the boy is in the show.
Yeah, the boy whose name we have not even heard yet. He tried to say it, he spoke about himself, and all of the noise sort of dissipated and Agatha couldn't hear. I think that's Agatha's child. She gave up the child specifically via some version of child sacrifice. Because in that second episode, when I think it was Jennifer turned to Agatha, she said, oh, another child for child sacrifice then. And the camera held on Agatha for a second. There was this anger in her eye. I think she offered up her kid to the devil in some which way, or used her kid to take power. And the reason he can't say his name, and the reason she can't find out anything about him, is because when she signed that contract, willingly, unwillingly, she was never going to find out who he is. So even if he turns to one of the other members in the coven and he says, hi, I'm so-and-so, she won't hear it. Even if they say to her, oh, this child is so-and-so, it's gonna blur out for her, because I think part of that agreement was that she would never be able to know who he is. If that is the case, I'll be disappointed because I guessed it too early.
I mean, that might be a contingency of the Witch's Road power. If you want something, you have to give something up. Potentially that might be the concept, and she gave up her kid maybe. She's clearly not a good person, alright? That was really evident from WandaVision, and that's doubled down on here. Sometimes she's funny. Oftentimes she's just cringe though.
Yeah, there was a lot of cringe. I could feel the ages of the people who wrote this show.
Occasionally it was funny.
There was one haha.
Yeah, but it wasn't from her. It wasn't from the witches. It was from her neighbour.
It was from the neighbour.
And he actually got a couple of laughs from me in the 2 episodes.
Yeah, Herb was getting the laugh.
And from the way they've put forward the first 2 episodes, I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, it's not going to get funnier.
I think the cringe is going to get worse. But here's to hoping that episode 3 will be better, and this show does indeed really ramp it up and do something special. I don't expect it, but if you do, then we'll give you a clap, because it doesn't look like it's going to get there from these first 2 episodes. But if it does, we'll tell you did a good job. Fact of the day, page number 232, fact number
3.
The Onyx River is the only river in Antarctica. It flows for just 60 days a year in high summer.
That's a good fact. I didn't even know they could get rivers there.